The federal agents came right here to the Big Apple and made at least 9 arrests of people who they say were in the country illegally. Watch. Recording there on their cell phones as agents with ICE, FBI, ATF, and other federal law enforcement agencies pulled up yesterday afternoon. It's part of a crackdown on illegal street vending, according to DHS. So when the feds started to make arrests, protesters stepped in, chasing agents to the nearby federal immigration building. We've seen protests there before, and it happened again. DHS telling me that the migrants arrested are all from West Africa and say at least one had a final order of removal and prior crimes, including counterfeit. But the protesters didn't want those people to leave the country, yelling at the agents to take off their masks as they blocked ICE in the city streets. DHS says a group of protesters with criminal histories were also arrested.
ICE out now! ICE out now!
God bless ICE and all the federal law enforcement that had to go in there. It's hard enough to try to do your job, especially in a place like NYC, let alone having to be chased and agitated and actually threatened with violence by leftist thugs. But in this case, they were trying to arrest criminals. Now, if you or I tried to sell counterfeit goods on eBay, we'd be arrested immediately. But because it's New York City, these people think they have a pass to do these things on the street. And don't just take my word for it. Listen to New York City elected officials explain what took place.
There is no excuse for sending military-style vehicles and a national law enforcement response for street vendors.
There's 100% an excuse for doing that because you guys aren't taking care of the problem. That's why there's chaos on the streets in New York. If you did your job, the federal government wouldn't have to do it for you.
This wasn't about public safety. This was about targeting communities. None of this is about public safety.
It was about targeting communities, criminals.
We wholeheartedly reject the violence that ICE is bringing to our city. Subjecting street vendors to this kind of violence is deplorable.
Again, nothing but excuses and apologies on behalf of the criminals by the elected officials in New York City. Forget about the citizens who just want to be able to walk down the street and not have to deal with these criminals. They care more about the criminals as usual. But some of these guys are taking it a step further. Take a listen to this guy here in Los Angeles calling for violence.
Don't forget where you're standing. This is South Central Los Angeles. They are not the only ones with guns in this city. They're not the only ones, and don't forget that. And I don't say that because we're calling for violence. I'm saying that because the people have every right to defend themselves against masked, unidentified gunmen with AR-15s and other military rifles. The people have every right to defend themselves.
Aside from having a double-digit IQ, this guy is clearly out of control. He's talking about federal agents being unidentified masked people, like somebody who just broke into your house and they're trying to kidnap you. These are federal agents, police officers, doing their jobs, and this guy's saying they're not the only ones with guns. If everybody thought like that, we'd have a civil war on our hands. Somebody's got to arrest this guy immediately, but I'm sure in LA, he's still on the streets. Now, the last guy you heard from was warning with this veiled threat that they had guns too. This creep here in Chicago is actually saying that ICE agents need to be shot. Take a listen to this.
You gotta grab a gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out. The state machinery, that's a full display right there, has to get wiped out.
Now, some of that I couldn't even understand. He was saying that ICE agents were fascists and he was talking about some sort of spray. But what I did understand is that this guy's probably never seen or used a gun in his life, yet he's calling for federal agents to be murdered. Now, if we say anything that the left could consider hate speech that could be racist, sexist, or whatever they want to say, we would have somebody at our door charging us with a crime. But guys like this are allowed to get a bullhorn and go out in Chicago on the streets and call for the murder of federal agents. And I'm sure, just like the guy in Los Angeles, this guy's still on the street. Thankfully, after all the protest and violence in New York City, ICE agents warned the left that they will be coming back to New York to make more arrests of these criminals. And if these liberals try to interfere again, they will be arrested and charged. I look forward to that happening. I'm sure you guys do too. Guys, if you like videos like this, please remember to drop a like, a comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thanks, guys.